Okay, here we go again. Clearing phase 7. This is going to be over Memorial Day weekend. We went up Thursday night. We went out Friday, came back in the afternoon, tried cutting down a tree, or we cut down one tree. Videos didn't work. Here it is before we started the day. Probably the end of the last time. So on Saturday we got a clearing and we're in the clouds here, and we decided to start splitting firewood from all the trees we've taken down. And the wife came up with me this time. So we got the wood splitter out. She's splitting it, I'm stacking it, I'm feeding her logs. Here we have a pallet that's going to be stacked in. And here's all the wood that needs to be split. So you see I'm bringing over rounds for her to split, and then I'm either stacking or I'm taking all that wood and going around in the back and stacking it on another set of pallets. And then of course I came across one of her friends. And he's not a small one. There's my hand, and there's the spider. How big do you think he is? I'm not getting a tape measure and trying to measure him. So she's got a 4-way splitter on that log splitter, and she just loves it now because it takes splitting. I'm trying to keep up with her, feeding her stuff and going to stack the other stuff. So you see that little pile beside her grow, and then it goes down because I go back there and I grab a whole bunch of it and I go stack it and then go feed her some more logs. There we are, finished with doing that, cleaning it up a little bit. So we're in the clouds. Here we go for another tree down. She's actually cutting some of the smaller trees with loppers behind the camera. Right side frame, you can see her back there on the left side of that, right in the middle. There goes the tree, and you see how wet it is? It had been raining and it just still was wet with rain. Clean that one off. You can see that laying here on the left side. Stack all the branches and do on the next one. This one needs a little wedge help. second, you can see it move there. It's starting to move slowly, and here she goes. Watch how much wet comes out of that. The water is just still sopping in these things. So we didn't do any chipping or shredding with the Kubota this time, because I didn't want to gum up the chipper shredder with all that rain. But we got it all stacked up, ready to go. Clear out the area for the next tree. And this one's a slow goer. There she goes. Get out of the way and watch the water come off of it. Oh! I think all the trees this time were all alive that I took down. So there was a lot of branches and a lot of leaves. This one is right next to the pile. So a lot of it I just actually left right where it was. I had to trim it all off. Some of it actually moved over to the side so I could get to the rest of it. And here's the pile of branches and leaves. It's got to go chip and shred. Here's the ending result for this phase. You see that little rod sticking out of one of the stumps that the last one I took down? That's basically 30 feet away from the wellhead. It's on the left-hand side. It's a little fiberglass stick. And here's the pile of saw logs we got going. Subscribe if you want to keep track of this, and thanks for watching.